Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first ever live episode of Money Moves JA, brought to you in partnership with Exim Bank's Business Advisory Service, giving you the tools to grow your business. And this is really interesting. I know it's odd for you to see me live on a Wednesday evening, but this episode is coming to you live for the first time since its inception in 2019. I can't believe it's been like 20, 21, 22. Yeah, 3 years and change since we have started doing this show. And why did we choose to go live with this show for this specific episode? Well, that's because we want to interact with you on a very important topic that we're going to be talking about this evening. And for those of you who don't know, my name is Kalila Reynolds, and it's time for another episode, like I said, of Money Moves JA. So, what are we talking about tonight? Well, Exim Bank has a very special product called EXIM Express. And this product is geared towards small and medium-sized enterprises, the SMEs, if you're seeking working capital support in particular. Now, the turnaround time on this particular product is just about, well, quick and easy. And you are able to get up to 75% financing. But I'm not going to tell you all the details right now. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the chat. And also, you can ask those questions directly to a business development consultant at Exim Bank. His name is Winston Lawson. Hi, Winston.
Hi, Khalil. Good to be
I don't
here.
know
Well,
why I
good to
just
be back. Good to be back. I was here sometime last year. But of
right.
course, this time is a lot more special. We are live. And
Yes.
apparently it's the first time. So I feel extra special to be a part of the
Yes.
program
First time
tonight.
we're doing this live. So I'm happy,
Wonderful.
and I'm happy that it's you.
Thank you. Thank
We
you.
already have a live viewers, Glenford, saying more love. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why I got the urge to say chill, Winston. Remember that commercial? Okay, so to those of you who are watching, let me know where you're joining us from. Are you in Jamaica? Are you outside Jamaica? What part of the world are you? What part of the country are you? Let me know. And what questions might you have for Winston here at Exim? And before I come to know what concerns you may have, viewers, let's talk to Winston about this product, Exim Express. Tell us what it is.
Well, it's one of several of our products, Kalila. It's a special one that we designed probably a year or two before my time, which is probably 2 years ago. It's geared, of course, to the SMEs. That's our specific mandate as a government institution. Uh, the most exciting, or some of the most exciting things about this particular product when we speak to the SMEs is to avail of this line, Exim Bank will not require the SMEs to provide us with financial statements.
What?
And when they hear that, believe me, they get very excited because it oftentimes is very arduous to put together these statements as
Yes.
small and medium-sized companies.
But I've never heard of a lender saying you
Yes,
don't need financial statements.
not asking you for it. And I'll give you one up on that. For the Exim Express, we will not take hard assets from you as collateral. So we won't take your house. We're not taking your land. We don't want your car. It's pretty much unsecured. So we're not
It's an
asking you financial
unsecured loan.
statements,
Oh.
and we're not asking you for your land or your house or whatever.
Isn't it riskier as a lender, though, to not request financial statements?
It is more of a risk, but as lenders, depending on how you are able to structure, you are able to mitigate, some amount of risks. As a government institution, we really have an obligation to ensure that, particularly those SMEs who are finding it difficult to access funding, we have to step in and make sure that they can avail themselves of the funding. We're not here to give away the funding, and so we had to structure certain products to mitigate, to reduce the associated risks that would come with it. Kalila. But this is a very exciting product, Exim Express. It's a fast turn. We're able to turn it faster, obviously, because we don't have to go through the financial statements. Um, we,
True.
however,
That is an advantage.
yes, of course. What it really does, it says to you as an SME, if you do business with a government agency or you're doing business with a company that trades on the stock exchange here in Jamaica, or if you're doing business with a blue chip company, and those companies have receivables for you, we will lend against your receivables. So get a little deeper. You have your company and you do business with company A who trades on the stock exchange. Company A owes you, say, $15 million. You can come to Exim and say, here, company A owes me $15 million. I want to borrow against this. What Exim will say to you, under the Exim Express, we can lend you 75% of that receivable, up to 10 million Jamaican dollars. We will lend that to you. To do this, you will be signing what we call a tripartite agreement, where it allows for us, Exim, to advance you the $10 million. And when company A is paying you, company A pays Exim the amount, and Exim
Right.
will take
Okay.
its $10
I
million
get it.
and give you
So
the difference.
So I'm doing business with another company. I've sold my
Mm-hmm.
services or my product to
Mm-hmm.
them. They owe
Mm-hmm.
me money,
Right.
but they take long to pay. This
And
happens a
they
lot.
take, yeah,
This
yeah,
happens a
right,
lot with
right.
when you're
Of
working with
course, of
large
course,
corporations and with the
of course.
government. That government take long for pay.
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
that happens
Quite
quite a
so,
bit. So you have
quite
so
so.
you have these receivables on your books, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it can take months for you to get paid.
Mm-hmm.
But you have other things that you need to do in the
Mm-hmm.
meantime. What
Mm-hmm.
Exim will do is they will lend you the money based on the strength of those receivables, and
Mm-hmm.
then you will collect the receivables when it becomes, or when the person who owes you money,
That's
uh,
that's it.
gonna be
That's
ready
it,
for pay.
Kalila. I should
Yeah,
say to you, it's a short-term facility. It's a facility that is extended for 90 days. For 90 days. So
90 days.
90 days. So where it helps is, if it is that the company A would typically take 45, 60, 90 days to pay you. Rather than waiting the 90 days, you'd come to Exim and say, look, I need the money now. I need the money now. You collect it in the 90 days or the 60 days time. And so what it does, it frees up your cash flow, or the SME's cash flow, to be able to collect cash and to conduct other businesses, rather than to be held up waiting on the cash from company A.
Absolutely, that's extremely, extremely useful. So that
No
falls under the
financials, no financials required, no car, no house required to back it. And we
all
promise
right.
you a quick turn.
So, and that's why it's called Exim Express, because the
Express.
turnaround time is very quick.
Yes,
What
correct.
is the turnaround time?
So we are committing to 7 working days. Working days.
7 working
Seven
days.
working days. That's
So if I
correct.
apply today, Wednesday, I should
Right.
be able to get the money by next week, Friday.
Correct. Now, the proviso for our lending, Kalila, is that if we're speaking about day one should be when we have all the documentation in place. Now, any and every lending institution will require what we call KYC documents. So we will need the company registration. We'll still need all those, but not the financial statements.
If I am a sole trader, can I still
Mhm.
apply?
A business trader, yes, yes, you're trading under a business name as a sole trader.
Hmm. Hmm.
Correct. Yes.
I can
We
still
do
apply.
lend.
I'm still
We do lend.
eligible.
We do lend. So you're eligible if, as a sole trader under a business name, you are doing business with a company on the Jamaica Stock Exchange, or you're doing business with any government agency, or a
So there
blue
are
chip.
some restrictions as to who can have the receivable. So it's not
Ah,
anybody who
it's
owes you
not,
money you can
and
apply for.
that's understandable. It couldn't be any receivable. It is restricted to companies that are trading on the stock exchange or government agencies or blue chip companies.
Why specifically the stock exchange? Because you have some big companies that
Well,
aren't listed.
and that's why we say stock exchange, which makes it easy for us as an organization to be able to follow how well they are doing, because as you know, the information is public. But we also allow for what we call blue chip companies, which are large companies which generally is recognized as strong. So we would include those as well.
Okay, so it doesn't have to be on the stock exchange if it's a big, well enough known company,
Well established, and one that gives
well
us
established, right?
comfort. Yes, certainly.
Okay, so how much money can I borrow under this facility?
Right. So we have a range, a max and a min. The maximum that you can borrow is 10 million Jamaican. Kalila, we try to focus to try to put things together, particularly for the SMEs, the smaller players. This one caps at 10 million Jamaican and a minimum of 2 million Jamaican. That amount that you borrow will can represent no higher than 75% of the receivables to your company. Following?
Right. So, does it have to be a receivable financing, or can it, because you said earlier that it's an unsecured loan.
Mm-hmm.
So, but basically you are using the receivable as
Yeah.
the security. What does it
Uh-huh.
have to be a receivable, or can it just be a completely unsecured loan? Do you do that?
Uh, so you're speaking about an unsecured loan outside of the Exim Express,
Okay, so
or are you?
you do it, but not under this specific program.
We typically do not do unsecured loans, um, and because of that, we try to structure something like the Exim Express. Um, even though you say we have the receivables as security, it's not regarded under the banking the banking act and so on as what we call extendable security. Hard assets, hard tangible assets, like as I said, your car, your house,
Mm-hmm.
stocks and shares, are more regarded as hard assets. But for this, in order to facilitate the SMEs, many wouldn't have, the sort of hard assets available. We thought it best to put something like this together. We think it's an excellent product.
Right. I agree. Well, I haven't heard
Yes.
one important thing yet. What's the interest rate and
Well,
how long
all
do I
right.
have to pay it back?
All right. So it's an unsecured loan. The interest rate is 2.5% for the quarter. So when you annualize it, because remember it's a 90-day facility, when you annualize it, you're looking at maybe about 11% per annum.
Mm, okay.
11%
And
per
how
annum
long do
on
I
an
have to pay it back?
unsecured
You have
loan.
to pay it back within the 90 days
It is paid back
when you
at
collect
the
the
point,
receivable.
yes, and but to qualify, the payback must be within the 90 days, or 90 days
Mm,
or under, to qualify for the exim.
okay. All
Yeah.
right. So I know that this is a product that you've had for a little bit, and some other entrepreneurs have already taken advantage of this product. Tell me
Not
about
enough,
some.
not enough, not enough,
Not
Kalila. Not
not
enough.
enough, and that's why we're here,
Yes,
so that more people
yes,
can become aware of it. Tell me
indeed.
about some people who've benefited in the past.
Well, you have throughout. The benefit of it really is that it's so wide in terms of the sectors. Um, it almost doesn't matter what sector you're in. You could be in agriculture, you could be in mining, you could be, you know, tourism, whatever. As long as you have your receivables from the sources of government agency or the stock exchange companies, you will qualify under the Exim Express. And so we have a range of companies across sectors that would have benefited from it.
Okay,
Help
I
them
think
in
we have
terms
some.
of collecting early and being able to conduct operations a little earlier rather than waiting on the cash flow to
I
come
think
in.
we have some
Have a
clips to
question?
play.
Okay, sure.
Hi everybody, I'm Narda Ventura and welcome to Aquaworks. So what's Aquaworks? We are primarily a learn to swim school, and we focus on teaching children the water safety skill, drown prevention skill called swimming. Here at Aquaworks, we cater to children as young as 6 months old in our Baby and Me program, and we go straight up to 13 years old in our beginner program. This is our home here. This is our home pool designed specifically to teach children the love of water. We've been operating from this facility since 2017, and that was truly only made possible through our relationship with Exim Bank. Exim has been very good to me. I consider them my bank of choice right now. Every so often, maybe quarterly, I get a phone call asking me to rate my satisfaction level with the bank, and I've always maintained my answers with them, saying that this is the bank that I plan to grow with. I told Kareem that in another 2 years, watch out because I'm coming for a bigger loan because we're going to explode in this market, and I know that Exim is going to be there to help me along. In 2020, when everybody was suffering, I only needed to call Kareem and say, listen man, I need help, and help came. I'm not going to tell you how my help came, but I'll tell you that Exim held my hand during the period, and I'm now surviving. I was survived during that period, and I think I'm actually in a better position today than I would have been in pre-COVID.
Nice. So it's Ingrid Jarrett saying this is a nice look, and I agree. I am familiar
It's
with
excellent.
Aquaworks. They came very highly recommended when I was looking for a place to teach my children to swim.
Yes.
But then COVID hit, and then we didn't want to do it again. But now we are again in the market for a place to teach the kids to swim, and they came very highly recommended. I'm very happy to see that they are benefiting from your product there, Winston.
Kelly, it's projects like that that makes us very, very proud. You know, it's part of our primary mandate that we are there, particularly when mainstream is not. And when I say mainstream, I say mainstream banking. What we are is a development bank. You know, as I said, we are government owned. We have an interest to ensure that the economy does well. And the economy can't do well unless small businesses are doing well. And so we are not here to compete with mainstream. We are here to ensure that the small businesses, medium-sized businesses, have access when they require, have access to financing when they require. And that's really heartwarming to see that we did well with Aqua.
All right, we have another one.
Sure.
I think we do.
Hi, my name is Ansel Temple. I'm one of the founding members and principals of Legacy Manufacturers and Distribution Limited. We're a new company, just a couple years old, and we're in the production of biodegradable, top quality paper bags for consumer use and for primarily the food industry, fast food and pharmaceuticals. Legacy has been in operation since May of 2019. We started out first with our 1 pound size bag with our pot devin machine, which is our first machine. But we soon realized that in order for us to have good market penetration, a single size bag wouldn't be sufficient for us. So we decided to look around for additional machinery. We were able to find a couple machines here on Ireland, fortunately. And then we realized that wasn't enough. So we decided to approach the Exim Bank in order to obtain that capacity. We chose Exim because Exim shared a similar corporate philosophy as ourselves, in that their success depends on the success of their customers. And I found that particularly interesting and appealing. So when we thought of getting financing, I said, you know what, let me go to Exim. So I walked in there with my bold self and sat down and spoke to one Mrs. Edwards, who was very, very accommodating as a company that was fairly new, and Exim took a chance on us. So we were very excited by that. And I think that has moved our progression as a business significantly had we not been able to get that financing to leverage ourselves from Exim. So for us, it was a no-brainer. So we went to Exim, and they allowed us to be able to get additional machinery and other peripheral factory equipment like compressors and so on to compress our bag that we needed to not just make the bag, but to ensure that the packaging and how we deliver to market was appropriate and represented Legacy as a brand. Once we saw the onset of the pandemic and how it was affecting business and the economy, we immediately went to Exim and said, hey, we won't be able to service the loans as we had planned, and here is why. But if you're patient with us, give us the time, we will get there, we'll make things up, and we'll make sure we get back on track with all the terms concerning our loans, which we did. But it required that we had to get that leverage and that time and that space from Exim to do that. And there were challenges, but again, I think that the bank met with us and we spoke, and we were very frank, because the banks have to make money too. But we had to be clear to them that we need some time to get back on track, which they allowed us, and we're back on track.
I really love to see the diversity of Jamaican business. Like, this company is making brown paper bags, which since the plastic ban is, that's it. No, that's where it is. That's really awesome. I love to see the work and the help that you're able to provide there at Exim Winston.
Indeed. We'll make a special appeal, Kalila. Come and talk to us. I really dread when I hear that, the SMEs are having, a difficult time, trying to access financing. We recognize the challenges that exists. We are not naive to, the issues of the pandemic and so on. And we take all that into account. And we, as I said, I'll appeal to the businesses to come and talk to us. We have pre-packaged products, we believe, that could help. And if we don't have the pre-packaged one, we'll put something together to ensure that businesses, as I said, have access and are able to be not just viable, but competitive as they go along.
Winston, one of the benefits of a program like this is that it takes the pressure off me as a business owner to have to go follow up with collections and making these phone calls and trying to pressure, like, okay, can you pay a little bit earlier? It takes that pressure off me, and I can focus on the operation side of the business rather than trying to do all of these other things and trying to collect this money, because you're going to do that.
Indeed. We're here, Kalila.
But Rizzle has a point. Rizzle Riz says, Exim may not get the receivables and may have to take legal action. So it's a risk to Exim. And then the person adds, good facility it is.
So, there will always be risk. We can't eliminate risk. We can mitigate it or minimize it. But there will always be risk, Kalila. And so we do understand that.
Absolutely. And that's why you do have certain companies that you work with, government and certain listed companies and blue chip companies. But yeah.
Indeed.
All right, Winston. Well, this has been really good for our very first live episode. I like the interaction so far. Rizzle says another good testimonial, Exim. And the person saying that you may have to push more and step up your marketing. And I know that you guys, and this is part of it. This is part of that marketing.
Exactly.
Effort, so.
Exactly. I know we are heavy on social media. I can't not go on Insta and so on and YouTube and don't see us. So
yes, you are. So go follow at Exim Bank JA on Instagram and all over social media. Visit the
Yes.
website, Exim
Yes.
Bank JA. There's a lot of great information there about all the products that you offer. You are a development bank, like you mentioned, and so you tend to be able to get lower interest rates from an agency like Exim Bank. So definitely go check it out. K Natural. K Natural, tell me what your business is. She says, great info as usual. Thanks, KRM, and thanks
Okay.
to Exim. I think she, based on the name, her business might be something to do with natural hair products. I'm not completely sure, but we do have quite a number of business owners on this evening. I should have asked them. Maybe next time I'll ask you all, okay, what business are you affiliated with next time we do this? Because we're going to have another Money Moves JA live
Live.
next week. So thank
Okay.
you, Winston.
A real
Really
pleasure.
appreciate your presence.
Real pleasure. Real pleasure. And anytime, Kalila.
And thank you to everyone who has joined us for this very first live episode of Money Moves JA. And like we always say, go check out Exim Bank's website at eximbankja.com. Follow them all over social media at Exim Bank JA and inquire about their business advisory service, giving you the tools to grow your business. This is a very difficult time right now for small businesses, especially. We are in the recovery stage of the pandemic, and it's so good to know that there are facilities like this out there that can help us to recover faster. If you're a small business owner, a medium-sized business owner, there is help. You're not entirely on your own. All right, that's going to do it for this episode of Money Moves JA. I'm Kalila Reynolds. Until next time.
My name is Fitzroy Morrison. I'm Managing Director of Jamaica Cosmetic Limited. We are situated at 94 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13. Jamaica Cosmetic is a manufacturing company that is involved in household chemicals, cosmetic, personal care goods, including mops, furniture cream, styling gel, hydrogen peroxide, rubbing alcohol that is so required now, shampoo, conditioner, 25 products. Well, Exim Bank is a friendly bank. Once you explain what the need is, they will come in and work with you, and once you have the necessary collateral, they will work along and guide you. The need at the time was that when we started in 2014, let us say we were dry, so to speak. We didn't have the finance, we didn't have the goods in the warehouse. So we have to go out and get this loan for us to, you know that when you have to sell, you have to have the goods first. So they lent us the loan. The process of getting the loan in COVID probably was quite understandably. They're not taking any chances. And in the end, we got a loan to buy a 40-foot container consisting of 152 drums of alcohol, which, like I said before, is so needed at this time.